Sometimes when I listen to your lecture and I am open and resting in spaciousness, it literally feels like my brain is being rewired in some way. I've also heard people begin to talk about something that is referred to as the neurophysiology of awakening. The idea that awakened consciousness is accompanied by certain changes in brain states and even in the actual wiring of the brain. What is your sense of this? Does awakening change the brain? Well, I'm sure it does. I haven't looked inside it, but I remember Krishnamurti often mentioned, he had this strange expression, we need a mutation of the brain cells, he would say, a mutation of the brain cells, and he believed that this is what was happening when we change. And of course, although I have not looked inside anybody's brain, and I don't usually talk from the perspective of physiology, but of course, every change that goes on inside you, even minor change, has an effect on the physiology of the body. The people realized, for example, a long time ago, I believe that in medicine there was a case, whenever it was 200 years ago, a man had a bullet hole in his stomach and it just couldn't heal, and that's how doctors found out for the first time about what the inside of the stomach looks like when it's working. And they found, for example, when he gets angry, the stomach lining gets very red whenever he got angry. So whatever emotion you experience already affects the body. Whatever thought you have already has a certain effect on the body and changes the chemistry of the body and so on. And of course, any change in consciousness is also going to affect, I know that, although I haven't looked inside the brain, but I know that any change in consciousness affects, think of a lemon. Think you're drinking, you squeeze a lemon and you're drinking it right now. Okay, mouth is watering. So a thought affects the physiology of even the simplest thought. Or any thought, any negative thought will have an effect on the body. Any emotion will have an effect on the body. And of course, a change in consciousness, of course it's going to rewire everything in the brain, I'm sure of that. Not that I usually address it from that point of view. So I'm sure Krishnamurti is right when he speaks of a mutation of the brain cells. But what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Are we awakening because our brain cells are mutating, or are our brain cells mutating because we are awakening? I don't know. I don't need to know. Perhaps both are true. Who knows? It may just be one perspective and another possible perspective. They happen simultaneously, so whether chicken or egg comes first, I don't know. But I'm sure that it is happening. It cannot not happen. So the expression the questioner uses is, I feel like my brain is being rewired. Of course, that's applying a more simple technology as an analogy for what happens in the brain, like wires. But yes, definitely it's not only in the brain. Many people also report noticing changes in the cells in the body becoming more alive, like an intensification in what they feel in every cell of the body, and an intensification of the energy that's moving through the cells of the body. As you sit here, sometimes you can be alone, and it happens. As you put all your attention into the inner body, suddenly you feel it's alive. This is the ancient Taoists, they already knew that, so they try to This is how they came up with things like Qigong and so on, to put attention into the body. And their idea was they wanted not only because you feel more alive and can do more, but also they believed you can prolong your life in that way. But that doesn't really matter how long your body remains here. What matters is whether consciousness is flowering through this form, which can happen right now,